Let me double check what my audio source was, because it was definitely my
Oh, you sound
webcam.
great this time.
Okay.
I didn't even think about it last time. You know, we were just talking.
It sounded so bad. I couldn't listen. But not that I listen anyway, but
I normally listen. I made it
don't.
like halfway through, though.
I used to, and then I don't know.
Well, I always
I don't know. I'm like, I was
listen
there.
to see what I can do better,
Yeah.
and I just realized that I shouldn't be the host, and then I get
That's not
upset.
true at all, though. I don't think that's true at
Get
all.
upset.
You've got great host energy. You keep us
Sorry.
on
Big
track
host
for the
energy.
most part.
We're
Right,
like,
exactly.
for us to actually look at Ken, it's like so far away from where our screen is, so we're always
Oh,
like
yeah.
up in the corner. Like,
Oh well.
it's real, just because the camera lens we have on too, the camera's like halfway across the room,
Really?
so it's extra weird right now.
It looks so good, though. It's
Yeah,
worth
here.
it.
Oh.
I gotta join with the phone. We'll join with. Oh, I forgot I was updating my phone. Never mind. I
Whatever
can't
you
join.
gotta
I
do.
don't know.
The
Oh,
leg,
okay.
the leg cam is not an option today.
Oh no. I forgot
Oh.
about that.
God.
Emily made a hot toddy.
Oh, gross.
I don't know what you were thinking.
I need something, otherwise I'm gonna die. Something to pull me through.
Got a cold?
Sick.
Yeah.
I've just been waiting for an excuse to make like a hot, spicy soup. And sure enough, I go and I buy all the stuff, and it's 95 degrees today.
Right?
It's like not gonna
I
do
know.
it today.
I've also
Not a
been
chance.
like, man, we did get we got apple cider,
Ooh. Mm.
but it's that same thing. I'm
Mm.
like, just a little something hot and spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this rock music. All right, let's get this. Where are you going? Let's just about to start. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Bored to play. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Oh, what's going on?
Hot toddies? Is a hot toddy gross? Here, let me try.
It's probably gross in
Sorry.
85-degree weather.
What kind of whiskey did you use?
That Traverse City stuff?
Good choice. But a rye, I wonder if a rye whiskey is supposed to go in a hot toddy or not.
Is it a whiskey at all that's in a hot toddy?
I think it is.
That's what. I don't know. It's
Oh,
just
Ryan
like
says-
watered down whiskey.
Right, it's just hot water
Look.
whiskey.
Yeah.
Quinn, I know that it's just dropped at 9 o'clock. I'm well aware. You can leave
Yeah, I
the
know.
stream
Don't
and go watch
expect
the show.
anyone
I
to
didn't know.
watch.
I didn't know it would drop right now.
Is it
when
just
it's-
episode 1?
I think
don't know.
so. I'm
Because
guessing.
what I don't like is I'm seeing a lot of reviewers. They get like the
Each ep-
first 2 or 3 episodes or something, but then it just releases the first one, so you can't watch that. Not that I want to watch a review before I watch the first episode, but why
Yeah,
are
I
you
know what you
letting
mean, though.
reviewers watch 4 episodes?
Well,
I
I
don't
definitely
know.
don't expect anyone
Maybe
to
it's
sit
so
around
good
here.
they thought all the reviewers would get
I
excited.
guess so.
about it. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe,
1 and
maybe
2.
one
Okay,
episode
cool.
doesn't hook. Ooh, 1 and 2. Well, we're
Well,
gonna
that's-
shut this off and we're gonna go watch
Yeah,
Lord of
let's
the Rings,
go
and we'll
watch
come
that.
back.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, we could just live react. All right, so turn it on.
Yeah,
It'll be better than this. It'll be better than this movie.
it's true.
Of course, but that's why
Anything's
it's the
better
D
than this
list.
movie.
I don't
there's
actually. Is it going to be better than this movie?
I hope so.
I don't know.
We'll see.
One can hope.
I'm trying to lower my expectations to absolute ground floor so that anything is okay for that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Heard not great things.
All right, we'll get this show on
Was
the road.
anybody expecting
What are you
it
like
to be
trying
good?
to do? On the road.
I gotta go
All right,
watch
gang.
She-Hulk. Anyway,
She-Hulk, turning it law.
Turning in law. I
Turning in law.
can't get over that.
Welcome to another episode of the Date Night D List, where we watch terrible movies so you don't have to. Hopefully, we're slightly more entertaining than the movie was. We've been on a hot streak of movies that were somewhat watchable. And unfortunately, I think this time, not to spoil anything, but don't watch this movie. This movie is actively bad. Tonight we're talking about Mulan, the 2020 live-action. I can't call it a
Mulan.
remake. It's nothing like.
it's not a remake.
It's nothing
No.
like the animated one.
Actually, I wanted to sort of come out and what if you like renamed this and you renamed her? Would this
I mean,
movie be better?
it would definitely be better. I still don't think it would be great.
Yeah.
It would be better.
This movie is made worse by the animated one for sure. Like if the
Yes.
animated movie didn't exist, this movie is
It would
just
still be
mediocre.
really boring.
And
Yeah.
it's
It
like
is
whatever.
it is very boring.
Super boring. Like
I
no
don't
one has
understand
emotion.
it.
There's no
Yeah.
emotion in this movie, which
Is
is
it the dialogue? Is it the actors? Is it
I don't know. But you don't like any characters. I'm not rooting
No.
for anyone in this movie
Like-
at all.
the only thing I found out that was interesting, and it was after I finished the movie, was the Emperor is Jet Li. Like
Really?
famed martial artist Jet Li is the old guy. And I
The
was
guy
I
who
know.
like his voice doesn't line up with it. Looked like there was like an auto or like a dub.
they might have
problem.
dubbed
Yeah.
it. They might have.
Because it did not line like something was
No.
not working there. So
Yeah.
that might actually make sense though.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have plenty of opportunity to talk about point to point things that are bad. But this movie is certainly made worse by the fact that it does a 180 on everything that the animated movie
Yeah.
tries to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything you liked about the original Mulan, this like took away.
Should we talk about that at the end, or should we talk about that in the beginning? Like there is a huge.
Probably the end, just because we'll
I
talk
think
about
it's the
while we
beginning.
go through it, though.
Because
All
I
right.
think sorry.
Go ahead, Ken. No,
I think it's the beginning because the way they set up who she is,
That is true.
like right out the gate.
That's
right
true.
out of the gate.
that's
and
true.
it- If anything, I think it gets closer to Milan at the end. But
yeah,
I'm open to
it's still like
feedback
so.
here. I'm not going to argue that point. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, this movie is about a young Chinese maiden who disguises herself as a
Maiden?
male warrior in order to save her father.
Yeah, that's what it says for the
Is that one
IMDb.
sentence description?
Okay.
This was a $200 million movie that made $70 million.
Ouch.
I'll tell you what, it does look like a $200 million movie sometimes. Most of the
Sometimes.
There
time.
are some
Yeah.
green screen weird like
Yeah.
scenes where she's riding on horseback where it's like she's just sitting on something.
It's
in the
just her
obvious.
laying on a green box, and they're
Yeah.
like, they just make the background move behind her.
Yeah.
There's a lot
I
of
think you're-
slow-mo. There's a lot of
Yeah.
There's a lot of kooky. Sorry, I'm trying to get this
Well,
right.
there was a-
kooky like camera angles, which I think was supposed to make you.
Oh, I hated that.
It was supposed to be like, oh, they're going everywhere and they're like ninjas.
Boy, did I hate that.
But
I thought
didn't
they were
enjoy
going. I thought they were going for sort of like a crouching tiger, hidden dragon type
That.
thing.
Yeah, I think they were hoping.
But this is like if you and I tried to make crouching tiger, hidden dragon, right?
If I
this
was like,
is-
you jump while I turn the camera, and I bet.
this- yeah, it's just a really bad impression of much better movies.
Now, here's an interesting tidbit that we didn't look up
don't
here. but
understand this.
I
I've
don't.
heard
I don't
this.
doubt Quinn
Yeah,
that it also bombed in China, which is surprising to me.
that it bombed.
I wonder how Great Wall did in China.
Well, how was animated Mulan like a big movie in China?
I guess I have no
don't
idea
know.
for that. I don't know.
I guess I would have to. You would have to assume that animated Mulan did really bad in China, because
here's-
this is the opposite of animated
Yeah.
Mulan,
Thi-
right?
and it
This was
also. I don't know.
This movie can't do well anywhere, right? Because
Yeah.
because it's boring, and
It's
because
super
what we'll get
boring.
into here in a little bit. I think it isn't. We'll introduce the movie the way Mulan is introduced, and then we can talk about what we all want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just so you know, I did see on the like Wikipedia that they were like, "There's a sequel in the works." I was like, I hope not. I hope
Was there
that
a
was
s-
like,
There was an
there's, like,
animated sequel, right? I think.
yeah, but it's like
never saw it.
straight to DVD.
Yeah,
Like,
it was when they did. It was heydays
Yeah.
of straight to DVD, like Cinderella 5, Back in the Dress. You know, like
And
Back in the dress.
Or back in the glass shoe is what it would be, right?
half of the time in those DVD ones, it'll be like from one angle someone's wearing a pink suit, and from the other angle it's like purple, and then this
Right.
angle is pink.
The
Like
animation's
because
not right.
they were
Yeah.
just like whatever, and they're like painting crap. Like they did not care at all. Okay, you want me to go?
Giddy up.
Start? Okay,
All
so
right, all
this
right.
movie opens up on a young Mulan practicing some moves in a field. She's like, I don't know, 8-ish, 8 to 10
Yeah,
at the
8
beginning.
to 10. Yep.
So at the beginning, there's a narrator. Is that supposed to be her dad? Or is it just a random narrator?
I don't know. He does pop up at the end, too, the narrator.
But he's kind of talking about how only sons can be warriors. If a girl were to be a warrior, they would bring shame and, like, you know, foreshadowing the whole movie, essentially. It's really boring, though, at first. But then we see 10-year-old Mulan in her, like, apartment complex in China.
That weird circle village, that one building village. What is that about?
I thought it was kind of cool. I mean,
It is kinda
it
cool.
Sort of
It's just
makes
like-
sense in like if you're gonna have 300 families. I don't know. Hey, let's just
Have a-
build a big
yeah.
ring. I guess.
The only thing I
but
didn't like is it seemed like as if they were like, hey, you okay over
there's
there?
a cat. A cat knocked over a beer can.
If you were like, oh, we have like Lot C on Warner Brothers. Like it made it look as if they were like, we just have this
Yes.
tiny area to film. And they were
Yes.
like, we have one set and that's it. And so,
Well,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
in it for a lot, right? So I
Yeah.
guess you're probably right. Hold on, this cat is causing problems for me. Okay.
But Mulan is chasing around a chicken. So just kind of like the animated one. She's like bumping into everyone. Her mom's yelling. Everyone's pissed off. She chases the chicken onto the roof, which is like, calm down. It's a chicken. She's like
Right?
4 stories up, like booking it on the roof.
She's leaping story by story as
Yeah.
a 10-year-old.
Which,
Right away, something's off.
Also, everybody's telling her to stop, and she's like on
Just-
a mission.
Yeah, she's like she's going for it.
focused.
The chicken goes down into its cage, and she kind of like slips on the roof, and everyone, you know, panics. And then she like parkours down down to the ground in a way that looks exactly like you would think if you strapped a 10-year-old to like a rope and like lowered them in a weird way as it like did weird parkour things. And then she like lands. And so and right away her dad is like so flippin' disappointed in her.
Well, there's a lot of every time chi activates, chi power is like wire work. It is very Crouching Tiger, Hidden
Yeah.
Dragon, but just not as good.
Just bad. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
bad.
Well,
It's
that's
not
right
nearly
away. It's been like 2 minutes in the movie, and you're like, "Is Mulan a superhero?"
That's what I was trying to say. It's like I don't
Yeah.
think you can talk about this movie chronologically without being like,
I mean,
what is this? This is not 'cause
like
right away, you're disappointed.
Let's recap the high level, the animated movie.
Yes.
Right? Is that
God, this cat is
Mulan a
Can you guys hear
regular,
that?
Yeah, we heard that.
a regular like girl
Person. Yeah.
person, goes is disguised as a male soldier, so her father, who's injured, doesn't have to go to war.
But also, like her
God,
thing in
I
that
hate this
movie
cat.
is she's like, women can do the same thing as men. She doesn't have magical powers. She doesn't have like magic in any way. She's like, hey, I can do the same thing as you if I work hard. I can show
She
you that.
saves the day through hard work, through like clever stuff where like
Yeah.
triggers the
being
avalanche.
vastly smarter than most of the guys in that
Right.
movie.
Yeah, and
Which is like,
showing
okay, I
that,
get
like-
that. That's not a
Yeah.
superpower.
Right. Like girls can do it too. And this movie, it's like first off, she has superpowers.
That-
Literally.
So that's the
literally.
only-
Yeah.
Let's be very
And-
clear. They're literal superpowers.
And over the course of the movie, the only thing that makes her stand out,
Is her
Is her
superpower.
Are the
Superpowers.
superpowers. Yeah.
it totally undermines
Takes away
the
everything.
original movie. And it makes
Yeah.
you hate this movie from the start.
And
As soon as she did that, I was like, "Are you serious?" Like right
and the
away.
original movie isn't even about her being a woman. It's about everybody underestimating her, right? And then
Yeah.
through cleverness and hard work, she kicks all their asses. This one, like, I watched this chicken chase and I was like, what is happening here? And I stopped the movie. I went back and I watched the animated beginning. And the animated beginning, she wakes up, she finds the dog, she ties a stick with a bone in front of the dog and dog feed or chicken feed to its tail.
Yep.
The dog chases the bone and delivers the chicken feed to the chickens, thereby completing her chores.
Yeah,
In
she's doing it the smart
20
way.
seconds, it shows that she's smarter than,
Yeah.
the average person. So instead, you get the scene of a 10-year-old leaping building to building to catch a chicken for no other reason than she wants to or she can or this is so
dumb.
well. I feel like you're gonna hear me talk about like, oh God, I don't know how to say
like blowing up.
Well,
I know
you can never. You're so put off at the beginning of this movie.
You don't recover from it.
That you never can recover from it, and because the movie's not good enough to recover you from it ever. But the thing is like it's so bad at the start, like the premise of it, and like catching up on the chat here, like, hey Joe, how's it going? Day Night Dicers, we got the date night douche in the house tonight, right here.
Man. Ben and Ken and the douche. All right.
The date night douchers.
Ben, Ken and the douche. And the douche.
What's up, douche?
What do you got tonight, douche?
I'm like getting so hot.
Right
from
here,
this
girls can do anything men can do as long as they have superpowers.
Well, I think
exactly.
Thank you, board to play.
What I was trying to say was, you've got the superpower element where they've, instead of her being smart and capable and hardworking, she's now superpowered.
Yeah.
On top of her being superpowered in this movie, they're quite heavy-handed with the like, oh, you're a woman, you can't do it. Whereas in the original Mulan, it was like, yeah, that was there, but it was sort of...
It was like implied.
It was laid in gently as a cultural thing. Can you guys see my background shaking because of this stupid cat? So like you're getting slapped with one hand of like, well, she's a woman and women suck, but also here comes the right hook. She's super powered, but it doesn't overcome the other. Right. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, actually, her superpowers only apply to being a warrior, which a woman is not allowed to be, so she has to hide her powers.
Is that it?
That's the thing. They're like, it's like men.
Well, that's what her dad says to her. Is like, your superpowers are only for being a warrior, so you have to hide them.
She is only used for being a warrior, and if women are warriors, they bring shame.
Catch that. Well, I'm dumb. Never mind.
Which is like, doesn't make sense.
Otherwise, doesn't he say to her, people will call you a witch?
Well, that happens in the next scene when her parents are talking in the other room, like extremely loud, which is the kids can hear.
There aren't any like doors on the bedrooms.
And her mom, her mom acts like she's like the evil stepmom. She's pretty much just saying how much like she hates Mulan, which is awkward on its own.
Very
and then she's the one who's like, everyone's gonna call her a witch, and all, which is like, we can hear you.
I
like,
wrote
stop
here
yelling.
in my notes, literally is witch.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, that's why they're like mad at her that she uses her chi because she'll be a witch.
And
she is a witch.
Even the way the chi is presented is bad, because if you said that the chi was like, okay, she has incredible focus and she's able to think clearly and she's able to plan and practice and do these sort of things, okay, maybe she's just smarter and more capable. Instead, chi is like, well, I can do, like what's that thing in soccer where you flip upside down and kick the ball in?
Right.
A bicycle kick.
That's
she bicycle
kind of
kicks multiple times.
That's her only move.
Yeah, that is her thing. That's all
so
chi brings.
That's her finisher. her signature move.
Oh my gosh.
It's a one-trick pony. Chi. That's what the dad was trying to say.
Yeah.
Look, unless you're out there playing football, soccer, you know.
Turns out
there's not much you can do.
Chi is a very specific power set.
It
You've
doesn't
got
make any sense.
3 moves. Sorry. I've derailed this far enough already.
Well, Joe did ask what bourbon am I drinking. I have no idea. It was one in the. I didn't even look at the
that
label.
cup. Look at that cup. Whew.
Momo came downstairs. I don't know if you want to throw
Oh,
him
he's probably
outside.
peeing on stuff.
That's why I didn't know if you wanted to.
Get us back on track here.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Fine, Momo. Okay, then we cut to northwestern China. We're in the middle of a desert. Some guy's walking. He looks exhausted. He sees a woman far away, and then she like pops up in front of him.
Oh,
and this is when we
yeah.
meet the witch, which
Does she have
which
a
is
name?
probably I don't remember anyone's name in this.
Okay.
So
I think my
sorry.
subtitles were on, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name.
Yeah,
It
I don't
was-
remember.
Yeah, it was
Right.
long. Yeah.
But she then you see their shadow, so you see how she like becomes the guy. So
Yes.
you know that she's all witchy, has magic too.
Yeah.
Then she uses that guy to walk into a village, and this is when you see are they called the like Rorin?
Rowan?
Ro-
Rowan.
Rowan? It sounds like a dog trying to talk.
It's okay
like,
if you pronounced a Wowan wrong.
Rowan? You see the warriors, the bad guys, aka the Huns in the original Mulan.
Yeah, they're Huns.
Right. Yeah.
Or Mongolians, or whatever. Yeah.
Right,
No,
what-
Huns is
yeah.
correct. Yeah.
They are riding their horses into the village. So it's like she obviously is working for them. She got in the village.
That's
They're
right.
riding up. Everyone yells to close the gates, and they're like about to attack.
But
So-
she sort of infiltrates ahead of them, right? And
Yeah.
takes out guards, and it's the
And so
action
yeah,
is
she
super
turns back
chippy-choppy
into
and-
herself. Which okay, when she turns back into herself, is that person that she like took over just poof? Are they just dead?
I didn't even think about that. You're
I-
absolutely
I
right.
thought of it
Yeah.
like when I was typing this up, and I was like, is she just murdering left and right with that one?
Yeah, that guy just evaporates
He's
into
done,
thin air.
right?
I guess so. Huh?
Yeah, she has like it's very like the crouching tiger hidden like powers where she can like flip, but she can do stuff with like her scarves, and she has
Right,
little
she,
ninja
like-
stars, and
There's a couple
I don't
scenes
even
in
know.
this where they like throw cloth.
yeah,
Which-
like and then like sucks it back. It's like very magic tricky.
But in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it was at least a little bit believable. In this, because the cloth is like ultra CGI, it looks so bad,
Oh, can you do
and the
that again?
cloth kind of like
Oh yeah,
sh-
the cloth
somebody,
is
like,
like slapping people.
wax a dude. Yeah, it's like comically silly. Anyway, like I
so
want to
yeah,
see this movie. Where's this movie?
It's not
Right.
here.
This looks.
This looks
did you guys?
cool.
I did like how the soldiers were in Great Wall uniform. There was the blue soldiers. I don't know
Were
if you
they? I
noticed
didn't
that at the
notice
fort.
that.
Yeah, I was waiting to see the other colors show up,
Oh, darn.
but they didn't.
Matt Damon was in the background for a split second.
I swear I saw him talking about how he needed a rest.
I could use the rest.
I could
like,
use
why?
the rest.
There she is, the witch.
There's the witch.
Like, and this is
Which
a cool
number one?
costume and stuff.
Which number
And
two?
she always turns
Yeah.
into a bird, and
Or
so that's why she
birds.
has like her bird hand and crap.
I'm always wondering. She always takes over the body of people.
That's what we were saying.
And then what happens? Does her then when she
They
turns
turn
back
into
into
a bird.
herself?
Baking
No.
soda.
What happens to the original body?
Done.
She absorbs them.
Is
I
it
don't
like
know.
the Prestige, where they're like there's dead hers everywhere?
Maybe.
Ooh. Well, she has a power set that is clearly not within the chi power set. So what
She's
is
like-
she?
I got
She
the impression
has
that
chi.
if Mulan really learned how to use her powers, she could become this at some point.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is everybody says we've established that chi allows you to do bicycle kicks and use slow motion, but how come no men are able to
I
do
wonder if it's
whatever
supposed to
she's
be
doing?
like
Like I don't get it.
maybe it's like if women actually used it, they could do this kind of stuff.
Oh,
but
is this,
because women are never allowed.
What are those
like,
books? Those bad
you know.
books? Wheel of Time.
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So this is okay. All right.
I mean, I don't
I'll
know.
take
I'm
that.
just guessing with that.
They certainly didn't explain it.
No, they didn't.
I went and found out what I'm drinking. It is Amador Whiskey Company, Kentucky bourbon, finished in Chardonnay barrels.
I am like so hot.
That doesn't mean anything to me, but this stuff tastes pretty good.
I'm like sweating through this shirt.
I've been on a gin kick lately. And I
Ooh.
found some really good
Very
what was it
refreshing.
called? Blue whale or whale fin or something. Very light for a gin. I really
That's
liked
what
it.
I like.
Interesting.
It's not
Yeah.
full on Christmas tree.
Well, usually I like a Christmas tree with lime. I like my Christmas
Ooh,
trees
yeah.
with lime,
Mm-hmm.
but this one was very that and a little bit Sprite, a little seltzer, whatever. Good to go.
Nothing
I'll have to
like
show it to
the old bay, Iron Bay.
Iron Bay.
Was that
What
a
is it?
gin?
Iron
Oh, it
Iron
was.
Fish. Iron
It was
Fish
called
is the
Iron
one.
Fish.
I'm not an Iron Fish fan. Very
It was
like
not very good.
potpourri. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah.
Yeah.
too
Never
floral
name
for
a
me.
booze after fish either.
Iron Fish. That's the name of it. We just called it the Iron Bay. It still has the BAE label on it that we taped on.
Yeah, it does. That's why I never know the actual name. I'm like Iron Bay. Should be called that.
Hendrix? I've not had Hendrix.
Ooh, I
I
like
probably
Hendrix.
should have, but I don't buy gin that often. I just
Yeah.
I'll talk about anything other than this movie. If you guys
Yeah.
Stop.
yeah. Keep the questions coming. Yeah.
No, when the witch is fighting,
yes.
the Huns or whatever are like, so I'm once again, I don't know, are they using chi? They like jump off their
Yeah,
horses
what's
and
this
run
about?
up
Yeah,
the
they
wall,
run up walls.
like where gravity
and
is
down
not a thing.
walls.
Yeah, and they're
It-
just like they're running around. Like
it reminded me
up,
of that
down,
like
everywhere.
that you always see like for memes, that like Bollywood movie where they like make
Yeah.
a shield ball and they get launched by a catapult over
That's
the
what it's
wall and then
like.
they explode and start fighting. It was
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
run straight up a wall, and that's never like justified in any way.
I'm
and
guessing
then
No.
it's just
you've seen
chi.
Mulan has powers. There's a witch with powers. These guys are running up walls.
No
and-
one else really.
And then never again. The whole rest of the movie, the only other person who ever has power is Jet Li, and
Yeah.
he can barely use it.
Yeah.
Though he's
yeah.
he's awakening cloths, much like it's
Like the
Yes.
witch lady. Yeah, he does do that.
Yeah.
shoot, what is the name of that book?
I don't know.
Are you talking about Warbreaker? Or what was that called?
Warbreaker, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's using his breaths to awaken the cloths. That's why
Yeah.
they're draining of their color as they grab people.
Okay.
I never finished that. I need to. Man.
Okay, we're gonna cut to the Imperial City,
This movie
and
is
there's a
so
guy
boring.
telling the
You
Emperor.
gotta make some jumps here.
Hold on, I'm trying to. There's a guy telling the Emperor that the Huns are destroyed the city. They're killing everyone. This is when they get the whole, like, hey, by the
Yep.
way, they got a witch with them, and everyone's like, what? A girl with
witch.
chi?
Oh shit.
And that's when they're like, okay, we need a guy from every family. Let's do this.
yeah.
This is
They come,
though when the
they-
Emperor was talking, and it was like if I was like just moving my mouth like a nutcracker, but like a bunch of words were coming out.
Does
Like
Jet Li speak English? I feel like he does, right?
I don't know, but something wasn't
Maybe
right
he
with
just
the
didn't
words.
want to, or didn't feel like it, or
He was like, "No thanks." He just opened and closed.
I
It
don't
just
think I've
didn't
ever
line
seen
up.
a Jet Li movie. But anyway,
Well, at some point you find out like the person who told the Emperor that was the witch as some guy, and then she turns into the bird and flies away.
you don't
I don't
find
know.
that out until like 90 minutes later, I think.
No, because
You
she.
find
This
out
is the
then,
first time
and she does
takes
that
a
later.
soldier's body.
I must not have been paying attention.
She takes
Yeah,
one of the
I
blue
was learning.
soldier's body after practicing the crane
Ah.
dives. This is actually how men were outlawed from the blue group. But the
This is when you meet Bori Khan, I think his name is.
Oh, here
He's
we
like
go.
the main
Yep.
guy. He's number
Yeah.
3. So the witch and
This
him are
dude-
talking. Now this guy's
This
scary.
dude
this guy's intense.
looks like the bad guy from Mulan.
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
yeah,
like
he's scary.
Like he is
photorealistic
The cast
casting.
is good. Yeah.
yeah.
You find out he's an asshole. No, like duh. And essentially the witch is like his slave, which doesn't quite make sense
It
because
doesn't make sense.
she's not under his control in any way. Like it's not
Nope.
like because of some power. She just
Yeah.
does what he says because people don't like women. Which
Yeah.
I don't-
It just
Sorry.
what?
Quinn says it makes him think of Shaolin soccer.
is that a game or a movie?
Oh my god.
Anyway, this dude's scary. He looks just like the bad guy from Mulan.
He's scary, but it doesn't make sense because multiple times the witch lady is like, I could kill you if I want. And he's like, yeah, but you wouldn't. And you're like,
Yeah.
but why not? I don't.
And
But then she
they
constantly hates him.
they allude to the fact that he's going to take over China, and women with chi will be like allowed there, I guess.
But why wouldn't
this
she
is like-
just?
there's
it
like-
doesn't
Just
make
do it.
sense.
Because
Yeah.
this is like children's show level of foreshadowing
Yes,
in this movie.
you're
That's
right.
true.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it, it's like this. Maybe we're not the target audience. Maybe this movie's for like little kids.
Do you remember halfway through, Calvin and
watched a
Elsa
little
got
bit of
up
it.
and left? Do
Didn't
you
they?
remember that?
Well, it's because it looks like a grown-up movie. It's not entertaining
Right.
in
It's
an
not
exciting
funny.
sort of
Yeah.
way.
You're
I don't think
absolutely
Mulan
right.
ever smiles. Like no one likes
not
Mulan.
funny.
Why?
Yeah.
Normally, I'm the first person to like defend an actor, like, oh, well, they were just doing what they were told to do. But boy, she does not deliver in the lead role, and that could be for
Right.
a number of reasons. But
Ray could have been the director being like, no, do it this way. I mean,
Just
who
be-
knows?
just be ice face.
But that is her
most
the whole
of the
time.
movie, yeah.
You're not like, oh, poor Mulan. Instead, you're just like, ew, like the whole time. But
yeah,
so then we cut to like, I don't know, 17-year-old Mulan. Just like the movie, she has to go see the matchmaker. Of
Yep.
course, she hates it. She dresses up. She goes with her sister. During the matchmaker, so in the cartoon one, it's like her cricket friend causes trouble, right? In this one, a spider. First of all, a spider comes down and she like
It's-
puts the teapot over it. It's
Pardon my
not her
language.
problem.
Also, it's fucking huge, and everybody in that
Yeah.
room would have seen the spider, and
Yeah.
just like, hey,
It's like a bird coming down.
Right.
You
big
wouldn't-
poisonous spider under the teapot matchmaker.
Yeah. And when the matchmaker is like, you gotta move the teapot back. When she does it, the spider like lunges at the matchmaker, which makes no sense. It like flies up like it's going after her face.
It's like if I tried to make up stories when I was a kid, you know, and you're
Yes.
like, what screws up this scene? Oh, there's a spider
The
on the
spider.
table. And then
Spider.
she covers it up with the teapot, and then it jumps at the lady, and you're like, what?
It's very like, it's just trying to like
sense.
keep it sort of rolling in a sense, because there's not enough
But
through
it
plot
doesn't
to
make
carry
sense
it.
because her
The
her
best-
sister is the one who yells though. Her sister's the one who like screams and gets up.
Well, she
You're
said
right.
she's scared of
Yeah.
spiders, right? Earlier in
Yeah,
the movie.
But what doesn't make sense is if her sister yells and like the matchmaker literally gets like a spider lunging at her,
How's
freaks
that
out.
Mulan's fault?
How is Mulan the
Right,
troublemaker in
right,
this situation?
Well, the best part about that scene is how the
Ugh.
setup of the tea area
I
is
hate
Wes
this.
Anderson in.
That was
It
weird
is.
for like 2
Still
seconds.
shot, and then it's like,
Like,
pop, 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 pop,
Totally
pop, pop.
different. It's like a YouTube video. It goes pop, 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 and like all the stuff is there.
And then never
No-
again. Nothing
You
like
never
that again.
see that again. There's no reason.
So
Like,
weird and
There's
off-putting.
never another montage like what's in her tent. Boop, bop,
like
bop,
it
bop,
was
like nothing.
Was it trying to be silly? Was it?
I don't
Boy,
know.
I don't like this. This movie.
I thought you were gonna say all the like the teapot and all the cups go up in the air, and
then she
Mulan uses her
fucking-
chi to like,
Catches him, but on
yeah.
chopsticks.
But
And
then
then she
like,
falls.
Why on chopsticks?
and then she
right? She
falls, and
tips.
apparently that was the problem that she fell. And
I
like,
don't know. I didn't take many notes until I'm kind of excited when we get to Boys Party in the tent. So
I mean, this movie is
Done.
so boring. It's not even long. It's
my
just
God.
boring.
It's
it's not
boring.
long. It's just
So
boring.
right outside the matchmaker is when everyone comes in to be like, we need a man from every
Yeah.
family. The dad does the my leg like falls, but
Oh,
he's gonna go
boo-hoo.
do it because he was in a previous war. Like we all know that. He tells Mulan how he has to leave in the morning. He has all his gear out. The whole works.
Actually, I thought that Mulan and the dad downstairs when he's sharpening his
It
sword.
was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yeah.
actually a good scene.
Yeah.
That got
Yeah.
me reinvested in the
For a
whole thing.
second, it's like,
Yeah, but
okay,
then
can they do
Nothing
this?
comes back.
But then, if I may take the reins for a second,
Go for it.
you get this sort of heart to heart of he's going to do it. He's sharpening the sword. She looks at the sword. There's a shared respect. There's a shared moment there. He goes to sleep, and they skip the whole
Yeah.
thing of her sort of like deciding to take his place.
and or doing the like.
There's
like,
no
putting on the
suit up.
gear.
There's no
nothing.
And I don't need like
No
a
cutting of the
30-minute
hair.
origin. but like it goes from them in this basement, and then I think it cuts and she turns and
She's
in the armor.
Yeah, she's full
And
on
it was
gear.
like, okay, guess we're going. You
Wouldn't
know,
it have-
just
What if you took the same time that is spent on the travel montage that you're just about to
Oh my
mention,
God.
where she's just traveling to this like camp that they're all supposed to go to, yet she travels through desert, snow-capped mountains, deep jungle,
Does
bamboo
she even
forests.
know where she's going?
Like
She,
she
like,
travels through
walks
every
off.
topography in China to get
Yes.
to this camp. And which makes no sense, first of all. But
No.
so what if we just took that same time and
It's
instead of
30
this
seconds,
travel
45
montage
seconds.
across the
Yeah.
world, we suited up?
yeah,
There doesn't need to be travel.
we don't care.
Like I
Like,
don't. Yeah.
why is she
get it.
in these places? It doesn't make any sense
It also
anyway.
doesn't make sense because then she's like, she gives her horse the last apple, and she's like, oh, I think we're lost. Blah blah. Which you're like, hey Dumbo, bring a map. Like what? What do you mean? You just walked out the door and went for it? Like what? So
Well,
she's apparently not that smart because she's like about to die
She's
on the
traveled
trip
for
there.
thousands
then
of miles, and you see
Of
like
all things, the way she gets out of it
Yeah.
is
we
it
go.
Dad who prays?
Yeah, the dad prayed to like the ancestors and like the
And the
phoenix,
phoenix, which is
watches
like their
over
family
them
symbol or whatever.
Yeah,
and everybody's going, finally, here comes Eddie Murphy.
Well,
I wish.
why not? There's
I know.
literally a phoenix.
That would have been
like,
the
Yeah.
time.
And
I
it
don't
essentially
underst-
brings her to camp because she's too stupid to figure out the
She's
way.
so incapable. She wandered off. The dad prays, and even if you took Chi and you sort of settled it down a little bit to where she like, okay, maybe she just kind of like focuses for a second, and she gets a sense of where she ought to be. Just sort of
Yeah.
let the audience figure out that
Right.
she
Or like,
figured out where she needs to go. But instead,
Yes.
a goddamn mythological creature
and she was like
flies down.
dead in the desert. Like she was like
Right.
ready to give up.
Armor was off.
Will you stop being what's his
Geordie
name?
LaForge.
Geordie LaForge.
I'm Geordie LaForgian.
I'm so hot from this hot toddy.
and then because she's so incompetent, but for her magic, which is going to be a recurring theme, she just follows this sacred creature down to
Yeah.
the camp. Like,
Which-
and then it's gone. And then there's
yeah,
no.
it's like bye, and that's it.
Oh, the
Nothing
sacred
about it.
creature has to come, and it
saves her ass.
yeah,
She
but
does
all it does
nothing.
is it flies over. This is
It
how
goes
poorly
one
this movie is
direction,
made.
and she
Yeah.
follows
The
it.
bird flies over to the only opening in the cliffs,
And it's like, hey, it's
and
down
she's
there.
like, "Oh, now I know where to go." It's
Oh,
like
shit,
it's
dog.
honestly like 50 feet away from her is a gap in the. That would have been the
Yep.
way that she would have gone anyways.
It
How you
would
be
get
a
out of there,
path.
but now she knows
Yeah.
where to go. It was this movie is insane.
It's
Like,
insulting to the
It is.
intelligence of the viewer.
You say never to
you're
be
supposed-
seen again, but Ken,
Well,
don't
yeah.
worry.
It comes
But
back.
the
I hate
Phoenix
that. God,
does
I hate
even
it.
less in that scene.
Yeah, it doesn't
It
do
just
anything.
shows up and then goes away. Right? It's the Phoenix is only in that scene for that shot.
Yeah, it's just in there to be like, look, my wings look like
Check
they're
it
on the
out,
back of you.
bitch.
And that's it.
Look at this, bitch.
so bad.
And this movie sucks. I don't understand.
It sucks more because the original Mulan is
It's
so
so good.
flippin' good. How can you F up a movie that bad?
Man, have we Okay, so
Okay, so she just gets to training camp.
We're getting to
She's
camp. All right.
she's lined up with a bunch of guys. This
Okay.
is when you know like she has no chill right away. So the guys are goofing around and like she gets bumped down. This guy here, her like essentially the crush that she has later.
yeah.
But he's like, "Oh, let me help you up," and he just like puts his hand out. She immediately takes her sword out, puts it up to his throat.
She pulls a
Did I
sword
miss
out.
You
on him.
calm the F down? Like, what the hell? And she's like, if you ever touch me again. Someone's trying to help you up and you take your sword out instantly? What? But at the same time, I feel it's supposed to be like, you should take women seriously. You're going insane. Like, what do you.
And I feel like this movie knows you watched the animated version.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of it is like, are we supposed to know that she feels scared because she feels alone here? Because This movie didn't
Yeah.
set that up. The other
No.
movie did.
That's very
The
true.
better
I
movie
think,
did.
I think she's afraid of getting touched and getting found out, which is like the next
Sure, but
10 minutes of this movie is her like every time she goes to bed, for some
Yeah.
reason somebody tries to put their arm across her
right.
chest.
It's so
And,
dumb.
like
Which is,
it's
but-
so dumb.
I
Yeah.
agree with that, but you would just get up on your own. You wouldn't be like, I'll put a sword. How is that staying like quiet, head down? And
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense either.
Man, I did like the next scene though. Boys party in the tent.
Well, do you want to? I kind of skipped over it.
I must
so do you
have
want to talk
blacked
about
out,
it?
yeah.
Like when
describe
it
this to
shows
me,
the
'cause
like
I-
the next thing is like how uncomfortable she is. It shows like the barracks, and it's like everyone's naked. They're
Yeah,
like whipping
this
each
is
other
true.
with towels,
Oh, I
goofing
What
off,
was
like
I doing?
getting
Yeah,
nuts,
shirts off,
you know,
they're
and
all
like all she's trying to do is like stay undercover, stay secret, stay disguised as a woman, and it's like the most like the place that would be the
What do you
most
mean?
difficult.
You and me didn't. We didn't do that every day in college. We didn't run around your
Run
house
around.
whipping each other with
Right,
a bare
just like-
ass.
Towels.
Like everybody's going nuts, you know. So then when the dude's like, "Anybody want night duty?" She's like, "Me," you know.
Yeah.
and,
I
like, runs
remember
out.
that. Okay.
And they're like, "Whatcha, whatcha?"
Yeah. And of course, they're always like, you stink the whole time because she never wants to shower with them.
Sure.
Like all the usual.
Stankin'. Yeah.
So then we get to, after we pass some of that, like the day one rules, which is like pretty much you do anything wrong, you're either dead or you get kicked out. So don't be an idiot.
Straight to jail.
So then we start the training montage. But there is no the most amazing song on earth.
Yeah.
There is no making men out of, there's none of that.
No, because there is no training. There is no getting better. Like,
She
it
doesn't
does-
train at all. Well, she does a little bit, but it's not. It's not remotely.
No,
you know,
nothing like that. And it's not showing that it's really hard for her at first. She's like
No.
everyone else at first. And then
Everybody
maybe she
sucks.
just uses some chi and that's it.
That's the thing. She cheats.
That's it.
She does.
She doesn't get better.
I think there's a moment where I don't know if she's like about to go to sleep or something, where she sort of, doesn't she have a flashback to her dad or something? And she sort of like, eventually you get to a
Yeah.
point, they're trying
it's
to carry
time
buckets.
to chi.
They're trying to
Yes.
carry buckets of water up
Go
the
for
hill.
it.
And she basically does a little shout out to God or whatever and gets a chi blast. And she just fucking hooks it up the mountain.
Let's talk about
Which,
that.
Not
First of
because
all-
she
First of all-
practiced.
No, she didn't practice. She didn't get better than everyone. She wasn't
She didn't
working
get
hard.
stronger. She didn't try. Like, she wasn't working at night while everybody was sleeping. You know, it's not hard to show this shit. It's super simple.
Because it's
But-
nothing's earned in this movie.
Also,
It's
what I
just
hate,
her
though,
superpowers.
Is this in general? If you had like this is impossible to do.
Yeah, you
say
can't do this.
Two
Nobody
full
could-
buckets of
no.
water, arms out,
That's true.
up a flipping mountain. That's
Well,
not a
and
thing.
that's what I do. What I don't. You could have anything in the whole world you can choose as the test, and the thing that they pick as the test is something that, first of all, doesn't prove you're a good warrior in any way,
No.
and second of all, is actually impossible for anybody.
But all
Right.
it is
No
is like,
actual human without superpowers could hold a gallon and a half of water.
well, look at those buckets.
in
Those
their
buckets
arms,
alone are like
outstretched,
Oh
in-
40
man, that's
pounds.
three buckets. Or that's 3 gallons at
Yeah.
least in each bucket.
Okay, all right, 3 gallons
So
each, so
what
we're
is that,
like
8
25
times 3?
pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
20
it's not.
plus
Plus
the
bucket.
bucket. Those buckets are probably 5 pounds.
Plus
And
each.
it
armor.
doesn't show. It's not like you have to be determined to do this. It's like you just have to be a fucking steroid psycho to be able to hold this
Nobody,
up.
no, nobody could do this.
But you
World's
know what I
strongest
mean?
Man
I'm
couldn't
just
do
saying,
this.
like, it doesn't show any, like, oh, but if you put some strength, like,
There's no
From the mind,
this is
development.
a possibility.
it's-
There's
Yeah.
no character, and like contrast to the, you know, it's absolutely fair to compare this to the animated movie. 100% fair. Contrast that to the arrow at the top of the thing, where not
That's
only
why
does she
that's
have to
so
be
good.
smarter, she does
Yeah.
actually have to get stronger to get up there, right? Like in the Goofy Captain
She
America
does.
movie, he gets the flag because he was smarter than everybody. He knocks the
Right.
flagpole down and grabs it and goes on his way.
well,
Like,
that's the thing. Like, in that one, yeah, she
just
has to be
chi
stronger,
blasts
but she
and
has to be
cheats.
smart.
I don't.
I hate it so
It's
much.
so dumb.
That's right. What are they trying to say?
What is the message
you
here?
have
I don't
magic.
get it.
You will succeed.
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
I
no.
don't know.
You have to be a very lucky witch, right? Because other witches don't succeed in this
That's
movie,
true. That's very true.
right?
Oh my god. So throughout it too, she'll do things like they're like teasing some guy, and she'll use her chi to like catch the thing that they're like teasing some guy
Yeah,
with and give it back to
whatever.
him. That's how she like makes friends, which once again is still using her chi. It's not her personality.
You could,
She's
like-
like using her witch power again, which
Learn
Just,
how
I
to
hate.
talk to someone, God forbid.
it's annoying.
It's so annoying.
Oh yeah, here we go. Send Eddie Hall in the Mulan challenge. We got one. I want Eddie Hall and
Who's Eddie Hall?
Brian Shaw.
Oh, all right. Yeah. They couldn't. Well, I don't know.
I don't think they could.
It would still
It's
be
also-
insane.
Those guys are pretty.
Isn't
strong.
there a point where it zooms out and it's like 300 feet up the mountain?
I don't
insane.
know. When it shows it from the bottom, it's high. When they're on the stairs, it's low. I
It's
don't.
just
I
stair-
don't- I
yeah.
am not
Yeah.
Sure.
Whatever.
I'm not sure.
Um,
Ugh.
So at one point they're doing a training, and she like uses a little more of her chi or some shit to do that
Right.
like
The
bicycle,
bicycle
kick.
kick.
Yeah,
That's
all
her
that.
only move.
Kicks a
She's the one-
spear. She almost
Yeah.
kills a fellow soldier. Pretty reckless, in my
right.
opinion.
She gets
She
called to
kicks
the
a
commander
spear
tent.
at him.
Yeah, she does almost like take his
She
body.
kicks
just-
a
Why is
Right.
she so
9-foot
pissed all
spear.
the time?
That's the thing. She's not happy. She's not like I just want to fit in and I want to show
what
I
has she
can
got
do
against
it.
that guy?
She's
I don't get it.
pissed that he's.
Isn't
know.
it the dude that she likes by the end of it?
Yeah,
or
it-
he
it
likes
is
her?
too.
Something like that.
I don't know. But she gets called to the commander tent. She thinks she's caught. But really, he's like, wow, I saw you have chi. You should use it more.
Nice,
and so she
dude.
does. And that's. It's
First
so
of
she
all,
just
let me make
uses
sure
her
you
chi
have a
more.
penis. And if you have a penis, we're cool.
We're
if you
good.
don't,
We're good to go.
boy, you're in
Oh
trouble.
my god.
He does see her down in the water. From
He does,
behind.
but nothing really happens. He comes
Yeah,
up
it
to
doesn't
talk
go
to her,
anywhere.
and then she's like, "Leave me alone." He's like, "Okay,"
Leave me alone.
and that's about it.
Yeah,
Which,
that's
once
it.
again, it's her from behind. She's like really out of the water for someone trying to hide. Like you can see a lot
You
of
would
your
be-
shoulders. It
that
would be
water would be at your chin, right? If you were
right.
trying to.
Well, that's in the cartoon. Not only is she at her chin, she has like lily pads
Yeah,
that
she
she's like,
covers
"Ooh,"
herself.
and she's like kind of trying to like be all distracted. And in this one, he's just like, "God, you're such a bitch," is kind of his attitude. And then he leaves, and she's like, "Oh, thank God." And that's it. It doesn't. That scene doesn't do anything.
She's
No.
trying to wash my ass. Hua. What's her name? Hua.
Hua Jun?
Is that it?
Hua Jun, yeah.
I don't remember
Hua
anyone's
Jun.
name in this.
Has anybody seen Hua Jun? I
Okay.
see this like long-haired woman, but what happened to Hua Jun?
Where the hell is?
Yeah.
Well, I'm Hua Mulan.
Hold on. So, okay, the
Yeah.
Huns are attacking other villages. The training camp's got to get out to battle. They go find a battle. Everyone's dead. So then they're like, "Hey, tomorrow
Oh, man,
we're
they
gonna
walk
find
through
them."
like a World War One like trench battle
Yeah.
scene. It's like
It's
takes
like
a sharp turn real quick.
Scorched earth. It's just burnt.
It is like that's like
Dirt
black.
Piles of dead bodies.
Yeah.
Um,
No blood, though.
and
Don't
so
worry. PG-13.
so they're saying like, "Hey, the next day we're gonna like catch them off guard and we're gonna get them." So the big fight's coming up.
Oh, I
big
hate
fight,
this.
big fight.
Of all the things scenes you could ruin from the
I
original.
was so confused the first time I saw this too. I was like, I don't understand how she got to not a fight, which we'll get to this, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She
so
can teleport, I think.
yeah,
She's
it
got
doesn't make
chi.
sense. So
Right.
it's like the next day, and it's like the Huns and then her training camp guys, whatever, I don't know, soldiers. They like meet up in a field. You can tell like the Huns got caught off guard a little bit, but they're still like, no big deal. We'll just like go kill them quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they run at each other, and like the top 5 Huns take a sharp right, and they're like, "We're out of here," and they
Yeah.
kind of zoom away,
This was
essentially.
weird.
Which didn't
I don't know
make
if it
sense.
was shot weird or if it just.
It was weird.
Okay. I don't.
It was like if you were like, "We're ready for battle," and then you just took a right turn. You
Yeah.
were like, "Never mind."
But they give chase.
Well, they give chase, so it's Mulan and like I don't know 6 other guys or whatever.
You mean
Six
Hua Jun?
rand.
Sorry, yeah. And during this
randos.
time, they're all getting shot at. Guys are getting taken out left and right. Mulan is like matrixing arrows on her horse and shit like that.
Everything
which is-
about this scene They're doing like stuff on the horses that you've 100% seen before. She's matrixing, which you've seen
Yeah.
before, and it's played for like really action-packed sort of pursuit, and it's so boring. It's just
Well,
so
it's-
They keep
Yeah.
doing that, like they tap their feet on
They
the ground,
tap and
turn
they
around.
flip.
Yeah.
and nothing's gonna happen to her.
Yeah, she's not gonna like get hit
She's
by an
gonna
arrow
chi
right
blast
now.
her way out of it somehow.
Everyone
So-
else in her gang dies.
Dead.
Though.
They die.
Yeah.
She keeps going.
Why would she keep going?
She
Didn't
There's an
make
she's,
sense.
entire like
They
she's
were
chasing
miles
like
away at that point.
Yeah, it didn't make
She
sense.
goes
they're,
after him.
they're miles away. They're at an active battle. Her entire
Yes.
like group is dead.
and she keeps
She's
going.
gonna solo pursuit.
Like 5 huge guys who
She's feeling
just took
confident.
out. But so she like loses them in the fog.
didn't
And then
understand
Where'd their
this.
fog come from?
and then
The
she shows up
timeline-
in like Yellowstone. She's like in
The
a sulfur.
timeline gets real weird here during
It's
this
really
battle.
weird. So she's in a sulfur thermal pool of ice. I don't quite
I
understand
don't
what
know.
this
It's
is.
hot and cold
Frozen
at the same
sulfur.
Frozen
yeah, I don't.
sulfur.
but it's also like hot
It's
and
boiling
smoky
underneath?
and steamy.
Yeah,
Which also, I don't think you're allowed to just like walk on that. I think that like doesn't that I don't
Whatever
know.
she was on is not something that actually exists. So who knows?
I don't know. So she is alone and she meets up with the witch. The witch can tell that Mulan is lying about who she is. So I don't know if she knows Mulan is a girl.
Well,
or
it's like when
not.
you get to a high enough power level, you can sense other people's power level.
I
You know,
don't
you can
know.
like sense their chi.
She essentially is like show who you,
You don't
really
need
are.
to use your like power reader anymore. What the heck are those called? I'm talking about?
Or reader.
what if Vegeta
yeah.
has one?
Oh my god.
Yeah, like Vegeta has.
She essentially tells Mulan, if you won't show who you really are, then you'll just die as someone else or whatever. She throws like a ninja star at her. Mulan like blasts 50 feet back into a rock
yeah.
and passes out in the sulfur ice.
Her face is on that yellow.
That's what I'm saying. Would it like
rounds.
is that
It's simultaneously
like, burn
frozen
you?
and boiling and acid.
and
and
if
it
you just
falls on
laid
your
in
face.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's okay.
It seemed to be good for her hair, so that's all I can tell.
Later, it
That's
really
true.
helps the
Yeah.
blowout. So
The payoff was worth it.
this is when the narrator pops back up and he's like, "That
have we
day."
even talked about that?
Well, it's just he just shows up
It's
for like
super
4
in and out.
seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why is it's so long between that you're like, there's a narrator.
All of
Who
a
is
sudden,
the
he's
narrator?
like, "Yeah." So
And it's the dad, isn't it?
Is it the
It's-
dad? That's what I didn't know.
I think it is. It sounds
Okay.
like him. I don't
Probably
know.
is. He essentially says how like the fake Mulan, whatever. What's
Oh,
Mulan's name?
Hua
Wajun?
Jun.
Yeah,
Wajun died.
Wajun
He
died,
dies.
but Mulan did not.
Hua Mulan.
And this is when the Phoenix shows back up, and you
Does it?
kind of get a hint of the Reflection music, the song we all
Oh,
know,
I'm so glad we finally got
for
to
1
this.
second. Like just a little hint of
it
it in the
plays
background.
instrumental of Reflections, which
Yeah.
is like a lot of people really like that song. Obviously, the best song from Mulan is "I'll Make a Man Out of You,"
Yeah,
yeah.
Of course.
We all
and
know that.
accompanying montage. But again, the movie assumes you know the original
Yeah.
movie,
right.
but
They're
then
like,
it-
she's gonna have her change.
but then it goes out of its way to not be like the original movie. So I don't get it. I don't know why you use that
don't-
song. It doesn't make sense in the context of this movie. You've never
Right,
heard
I
that
don't
song
know.
before. It doesn't. There's no lyrics. It does.
We need picture number 7.
You know,
number
Quinn
seven.
asked a question here. Is like, who is this movie for?
No one.
Ed, I don't know.
I don't understand why.
I don't know.
Was it an
made the way
experiment?
it is?
Was it like
I just don't get it. It's so off-putting.
Because adults don't like it, and but kids don't like it either.
the
it-
music? If you use the songs from the animation, it actually might have been enough to carry this movie.
It would definitely be
A little
better. I
bit.
don't know why they had 0 songs, other than like a little tiny bit hint of.
It's
a
just
flute
that
playing.
one.
Like
it
that's
tinkles
though.
it in. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
the other songs are tied in a couple of other places
they?
as
Are they?
well. They are. If you listen for them, they're there.
But
Huh.
like, so this is Mulan after waking up from the sulfur fields or whatever.
Right. This is now Mulan.
Okay.
Wa Mulan.
This is Mulan, but let's take a look at her for a second. So she, first of all, has been sleeping in like a sulfur puddle for the last,
Right.
I don't know, it could have been hours. I don't know how long she was passed out either.
But it wasn't because even though she's miles away, she'll be back at the battlefield 30 seconds after she
Bang.
left.
So
So
this
Yep.
is when her becoming herself apparently means you don't need gear. Because as she gets on her horse, she starts chucking that gear off left and right. You don't need anything when you're Mulan with your chi.
It's
like,
weird because
why?
Makes no sense.
they took the time for the transformation here, but they didn't bother with it in the beginning where she, the decision is made
right.
Yeah.
to go on this quest.
Where
Suicide
she
mission.
becomes Wajun. That never
Whereas
happens.
Here she sheds it as if it was somehow weighing her down, I guess. But the setup wasn't there at all for that.
Is the next picture her?
Yeah, I
with the
think
blowout?
so. Can you? Yeah,
Looking-
that's what she
man.
becomes in about 1 second. I think she got extensions while she was
Yeah, that's a lot of hair.
like
This is a tight bun.
She might have.
She takes off her upper body armor for some reason.
Someone-
Doesn't need the
Dries
upper
off.
body protected.
someone
wipes her
curls
face
her
real
hair
quick.
quick.
Little foundation, I don't know enough about.
But she like jumps into the battle, starts fighting, and like people start retreating. She only like
Yeah.
knocks out like one guy. I don't know why they're all
Oh,
like.
all of a sudden Mulan's here. We're like, we
"Whoa!"
Well,
gotta
she-
get out of here.
I think this has got to be at least bicycle kick number 2. She
Yeah.
bicycle kicks a
They're
spear into a
scared.
guy,
and they all
and
run.
then they run.
That's her only move. Bicycle kick. Oh no! Now they know what's up.
They
gotta
get out of here. So this is when the witch lady becomes like 200 sparrows and starts attacking everyone. So all the soldiers go into like a little huddle with their shields up, and this
Perfect
is
time to
just
pull
what
out
they
the
wanted
trebuchets.
because which makes no sense. This was a battle they weren't prepared for.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the
Oh my
Huns were
God,
like,
thank
grab the
you.
catapults.
Thank you.
Did no one notice the catapults 50
Why
feet?
were they
mention-
even constructed?
Not to
Yes.
mention, this is historically like one of the most mobile guerrilla tactic armies the world
Yeah.
has ever seen.
And
Right.
we're saying
Fairly
they brought
confident
those.
they didn't have medieval English catapult trebuchets.
Right?
French. It's right
Yeah.
there in the name, right?
Yeah.
Right.
French trebuchet.
And well, not only that, but these guys are aces.
Oh
with
my God.
trebuchets.
Like zip, like dark.
Like
They're-
we set it up, first shot, direct,
Boom.
boom.
Everyone's
blow
dead
up.
in that huddle.
Dead.
Like,
yeah,
like
done.
it is hard to aim these things. They got to be dialed in. We got to set it up. No,
Takes hours.
First hit.
one
first
whip.
hit.
Every shot they take,
Boom.
another group of soldiers, boom, gone.
Well, because
It's
maybe we didn't paint it
insane.
clearly enough. All of the Chinese soldiers, they turtle up, right, with the
Yeah.
shields. So there's about 40 or 50 dudes, and there's maybe 10 of these turtle
Like little
shells.
groups. Yeah.
And these guys, they're just
They're
nailing
taking them out.
killing 50 guys at a time. While
It
she's
makes
out there
no
bicycling,
sense.
kicking.
But Mulan has a plan, guys. So she somehow grabs like 10 extra helmets that, I don't know, off dead guys.
A horse, 10 helmets, a bow and arrow,
Yeah, she rides
Teleports
behind everyone,
up
which
to the
Right.
top side of the
behind.
mountain.
yeah. And
on,
I don't
wrong
yeah,
picture.
hold on, wrong picture.
Oh, you're early, man.
Oh, sorry, it's just that one. She goes behind everyone. She sets up the helmets. She does all this like prep
Yeah,
work.
it's like-
sets up the helmets on the ridge like a bunch of people, and
She's
then
just
she starts
there.
shooting at them so that they will turn around the whole thing
They
to shoot at
pivot
her.
the whole trebuchet.
The entire thing just to shoot at. First of all, one person behind you would be like, just send one guy up there.
Right.
Who cares?
Why are we launching catapults at this dude?
Hey.
And essentially, though, she makes the avalanche go off because they sent
Well,
it at her and the
I
mountain
want
and
to. I
the
want
whole
to point
works.
out that
Let me
Go
no.
go for it.
I hate
their
I hate
pinpoint
this.
accuracy 30 seconds ago. They
Yeah,
shoot a
gone.
trebuchet ball at her. They miss by 5 miles. It goes up the mountain. Like you couldn't.
Oh,
You couldn't.
you couldn't
miss
be
by
farther off. Yeah.
Again, let's compare this to like clever Mulan from the animated
The
movie.
animation. They've got
She
the
thinks,
fireworks.
We could use the
Yeah.
fireworks.
Right,
We could
bang,
use like
boom.
artillery. Boom. It's our only hope.
Yeah.
We're never gonna win. We're being overwhelmed. We'll
And I
just
think
take out.
she's even getting yelled at by the commander at the time.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are you doing? You know?
Right?
It's
And they're like, you missed the main guy when
You
really she wanted to
idiot.
get the avalanche.
right. Oh,
We need to just watch the regular Mulan.
Instead, we get like Ace in the hole. They can only shoot
Also-
east. They got to shoot west. No, they're gonna
Nah.
miss. Man.
logistically, she's literally between the enemy and the avalanche, which means
Yeah.
she has to.
She books it
She-
out of there.
She cheese herself onto a horse at one point.
She does.
I think.
Yes,
Yeah, she
that's
does.
right. She does chee onto a
She
horse.
rides away.
And then her horse is
It's
just
like-
on the avalanche while everyone else is dying. She's like on top tap
just
dancing
kinda, like,
around, which
Floats
doesn't.
on top. Oh.
Man.
She saves her like boyfriend
Sucks,
though,
man.
essentially, and I think she
Yeah.
uses chi to like revive him because he's not breathing
I don't
until she
remember
like
that.
touches. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
she heals him with chi. That's
Right?
right.
Does she
It's like the
really?
force heal. It is.
Oh, come
He's
on.
like
the force
dead.
heal made more sense than this.
Yeah.
He's dead from the avalanche. She like does
she, like,
this
touches
and closes
him,
her
and then
eyes
he starts
and then
like
he wakes
breathing.
up. I forgot she chi healed.
Yeah.
I must have tuned.
I forgot, but I
out.
wrote it down. Healed with chi. I didn't know what that meant. Now I remember.
Now you know.
I tuned out so hard because I was so mad about how
So
this
man.
scene played out. Where it's like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Give her fireworks. It's
It's so-
easy.
It could just happen the same. Moral of the D list: always watch the original. Exactly. Even fit to
Yeah.
Poseidon.
Even when you don't
the
know
original
that, though.
Poseidon.
So then she like walks up to the group after, reveals she's a woman to the commander. Everyone's pissed. They tell her she's a disgrace, imposter, all that crap.
Yeah.
They say if she shows up again, they're gonna kill her. So they're like, just get out of town.
Well, he was in an interesting position because they'd made it very clear if you do anything, if you spend any time with women, you get executed. If you lie, you get expelled.
yeah,
And so
Also-
what happens here, because she is a woman, but she also lied.
yeah. He gave her like that
Also,
one extra chance.
Didn't he invited her to come meet his daughter
Right.
prior?
Oh yeah,
so
Because they would have been
she's-
best friends.
he wanted to hook
She was
them up.
in Hua Jean?
No
Hua?
idea.
Who's
Hua
the guy? Hua Jun.
Why shouldn't?
He was in the good graces of the commander. And so she
Yeah.
gets a little bit of a pass here. She gets
But
a little bit of
also-
a
I think if I was like, okay, if if I was somewhere and I was like, where's Ken? And then a girl walked up, I wouldn't be like, is that Ken? Like right away. Like they
It's me.
immediately are just
I've got a
A 6
what if
foot
I
3,
just flowing hair.
broad-shouldered,
But what I
blonde
mean
woman
is
walks
if
up.
you knew this person, you thought this
It's
person
me,
was a
you know.
guy, and then
It's
a
me,
woman
Hua
walks up,
Jean.
I would not be like,
Right.
it must be, he must have been disguised as the woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're immediately like, oh, that's him. Oh, look, he's a woman. Like
It's
you,
just-
why
it's
was
just that
you-
common. It's just a
Right?
classic.
That's where my head went. This person I've been with for months or weeks or whatever, who I thought was a guy, and I see
doesn't
a
make
a beautiful woman walk up.
And then you're like,
Damn.
Oh, that's
Ken?
them.
Is that-
Boy, was I a
Damn,
fool.
Wajun. Did you finally take a shower?
It doesn't make any sense. Okay, Mulan goes on top of a mountain to
Be
cry.
right back.
The witch finds her. She's like, "Yo, bitch, we're the same."
Okay, this starts about 15 minutes of time of a storyline between Mulan and the witch.
And the
This is
witch.
where they first meet. Again, this story arc is going to resolve itself in about 15
In-
minutes
yeah,
of total time.
we're almost done.
From start to finish, over 3 meetings. That's it. There
Yeah.
are 3 total meetings of Mulan and the witch.
But
This
they
is
are
meeting number
connected.
1.
The witch is like, "Yo, everyone hates me too. I was also sad." And she's like, "But if you want to hang out with me, we could be like really cool
We
together."
could be super powerful.
And then Mulan's
Join
like,
me, and we can rule the galaxy together.
Mulan doesn't like that. She's like, "We're nothing the same." Blah blah blah.
Oh, they are the same.
And the witch like tells her like their plans. I don't know if she wants to just f up the hunt. Like,
I don't know
the
why
guy's
she tells her the
plans,
plan. She's
or
almost
what?
like teasing her with it.
yeah. So Mulan goes to tell the commander the plans. But yeah, at first the witch is just like, "Yo, people always hated me too, but like I got
I
chi."
can see why, right? Like
And-
that's kind of what Mulan says.
She does say that, which I'm like, you're kind of being a bitch right now. Like, I don't like her. Okay, so she goes back to the commander, even though he was like, "Don't show your fucking face around here again." And she says, "I'll do it for my peeps."
If I see you again, I'll kill you. That's what he said to her.
And she was like, "Hi," when she shows up. She shows up. He's mad, of course. Then she says, "Hey, like, here's the plans of all the bad guys." And all the guys immediately back her up. They're like, "Yo, like,
I back up Mulan.
she was pretty cool." Even
That's
though
like
Nobody's
you know,
like pissed. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys this. What did you think of the crew, the gang, the boys?
I don't know them.
I don't know
Is
them at
what I
all.
think.
You got no time with them.
Yeah.
What
I
about
didn't
when
know
they're
who
like
was
goofing
who.
around eating like lunch sometimes, and
Not-
they're like
not-
it. They're
I-
trying to make them likable, right?
Yeah, but you don't know them enough.
They
I don't
spent
know
all
them.
that time in the beginning with her and the magic setup and the witch and her getting lost, where the Mulan animated works because of the time they spend in the
Yeah,
training
The
montages
training
and getting to know those 4 people or 5
Right.
people,
The
right?
or
gang.
whatever. Yeah.
the boys.
No, in this one,
They have that
don't
one
know.
scene where they're like, "What kind of woman would you like?"
well, they're
And
trying to do
Wajun
that
is-
That
same
was funny.
thing as in
Sure.
Mulan.
Yeah,
but you don't know them enough to like. You don't like them because I don't know them.
right.
If someone showed me a picture of 5 strangers and they're like, "What do you think?" I'd be like, "I don't know. It's the
Right.
same thing."
Yeah.
Like at the end when the one of them like looks like he may have died, you're like, "I don't give a shit."
That's too bad, I
Yeah.
guess. Like
Well,
I don't.
even in the avalanche, one of them gets like pinned beneath something, and it's like I don't
Yeah.
know who that is. Is that a normal?
Right,
that
one
just
of
a
them
note?
saves another one, and
Yeah.
it's like, I take them both.
I don't know
out.
how
Like, I don't
either.
care.
Like, just
I
watch
don't-
these guys away. I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was I don't know. She shows back up though to the commander. She says the plan. They're pissed that she's there. But then after about 10 seconds,
Yep.
not only does he say, "Hey, I'll listen to you."
Right, he was supposed to kill her.
Not only does he say, "I'll listen to you," but he goes, "And I want you to lead us there." I'm sorry.
Sure.
Okay, you were pissed
That's how it goes.
a minute ago, and now you're like, "I'm gonna put you in charge."
Did they
That
ever
wouldn't- what?
show? Did they ever show him like seeing her tee it up or anything? Like, I'm just trying to get context for why he
Only-
would
only
be okay
when-
with that.
He saw
for
her
training?
backflip kick a spear at that one guy.
Yeah,
In the beginning ish. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
But that's
Like
it.
if he had seen her scare off all the Rowrins or
Rah-rah.
create the 5-mile misfire on that trebuchet, like
but I
maybe he
don't-
would. Huh.
I mean, he
Okay.
was pissed like an hour ago, and now he's like,
Right.
"You lead us," which makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Well,
So, okay, the bad guys sneak into the palace. The witch sneaks into a bunch of people. She tricks the emperor into
What
sending
happens to their
everyone away.
bodies? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. So everyone's out of the palace and the city and all that stuff. It's all a trick. The Rorans, they had
Not the Mongols, the
No.
Rorans.
because I don't know what they were called. They head to like a construction zone, which is weird. And they're also, instead of like big guys, they're now like ninjas running around and like parkouring all over the
yeah,
place.
they're whatever
was
the
weird.
scene needs them to be, kind of.
Yeah, so they're like ninjas and they're like jumping off walls and shit like that. They're doing like Legolas style shit, like with bows and arrows
Oh, yeah.
and like
Oh, yeah.
weird.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's true. I did write here
Right?
like Legolas. And I don't know
that's
what
I
that
did
means
too.
exactly.
I don't remember either.
Oh, no, the like Legolas, this is for later. This is the one dude shows up, the like chubby friend who like was the first one to hit the target with the arrow with
That's
his
what
eyes
it
closed.
was.
He slides in
Well, we're
on
pretty
his
much at
knees,
that.
pulls the bow behind, his,
behind his
back
back.
with 3 arrows knocked and hits all 3 guys with one shot.
Okay, so this is right after they all
Why?
got their butts
Chi?
whipped. I don't
No,
know.
he doesn't have chi. He just
But-
he was in the training montage that we missed. Deleted scene.
But
Yeah.
no-
The non-existent training
but
montage.
during the battle, like they all sucked, right? They were all bad. They are all like just kind of getting by. And then as soon as they're like, "We'll help you, Mulan," they like head to the palace and do shit.
You're right.
Like
Yeah.
you said, they're like Legolas. They are
'cause
like
that big chi
sliding
energy.
and like I don't know. God. So a
Oh
bunch
man,
of
this
the
movie sucks. This movie
main-
sucks. I don't
the main
understand.
four
this
or
movie.
five.
It does.
How many
suck.
friends does she have? 4 or 5 or
I don't-
something?
it
I don't
doesn't
know.
Well, she's
matter.
got the
They-
3, and then the boyfriend,
And then the
who's a
boyfriend. So-
replacement for the commander from the animated one.
yeah. They stay in this one area to fight a bunch of ninjas, and they tell her to go find the emperor.
This
I
goes
kind
on
of skipped
forever.
some, but like, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The emperor apparently has chi, so he went to go fight, and then he realizes it's a trap. He gets like caught, and he is tied up on top of a construction zone with lava under him.
I did now. Granted, I was totally not paying attention, but a whole bunch of bullshit happens here.
You could have paid attention. Doesn't matter. It still
They-
is.
They lure the emperor outside of the city
Yeah.
to where a new palace
Palace?
is being built,
Yeah.
and inside of it are a bunch of ninjas, like
Right,
in the
of
most
course.
in the most stereotypical sense you can think of a ninja, like
Yeah. Like
just
if a
chara-
4-year-old
like a
drew a
caricature.
ninja.
Yes,
Yep.
ninja,
Yep.
Lego ninja, and
Doesn't bother the emperor at all though.
He's
Because
got
he's
chi.
chi
Right in.
heavy.
He's
he walks in, cheese
He's
blast,
heavy with chi.
cheese on blast, right?
Mhm.
The Rory Khan or Robbie Khan,
Bobby
Rory
Khan.
Khan sounds right.
We'll say Rory. Let's go
Bobby
with
Khan, Bobby Khan,
Kubla
like-
Khan.
Kublai Khan. He like, I didn't understand this. He like fires up these forges, and
I don't
starts
know.
melting like just
Into
metal.
a pool.
He's
There's a
legit like
pool.
setting
He's
up
just
a
making
lava
a-
pool.
I did not. There was no
I
context.
thought they
It's-
were.
Was he
I
gonna
thought they were
burn
gonna
it down?
forge a cannon like in Kung Fu Panda. I thought they were gonna like forge a giant cannon
Sure.
and start shooting at people
in
or
this
something.
movie.
But no.
Sure, why not? So he's literally like dumping hot metal into the middle of this room for no reason.
No reason.
It doesn't make any sense.
Big Chi Energy Emperor walks in.
Hmm.
All of his guys get immediately killed by the ninjas.
Yeah, they apparently suck.
Like, snap. They're
Yeah.
not even.
Like he's the only one left. That's it.
I'd be
yeah.
surprised if those actors got paid. They're gone so fast. Then he starts whacking ninjas with cloth that's just draped.
Which I guess
and-
that's like the main thing Chi can do is like slap you with a cloth. Like
But he like
don't-
he really,
He's obviously an advanced chi user because, like, awakening cloths requires quite a few breaths.
It's
like the
true.
commands you have
It's
to give.
true.
it's true. That's
and
true.
he gets rid of most of the ninjas, but then like 10 other ninjas who are all above him.
Yeah.
This I laughed out loud. They fire arrows into the ground with ropes on them.
Oh, this is
And
great.
then they like
Then
twist.
they they all run in a slow circle.
Is that what it is? And
all
he-
10 ninjas, and he kind of just stands there as they tighten the net around him.
That is true.
This
He
is
is like,
insane.
oh, as it
And
like,
then-
like way to introduce
And then-
a superhero and defeat him in the shittiest way possible.
Oh.
Okay,
And then-
go ahead.
They somehow start lifting him in this net, despite the
that's
fact that
weird.
all 10 arrows were in the ground. There's no bottom to this net.
yeah. There's not like a net. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. They
eventually
lift
he's
him
up.
above the.
He's up.
floor.
He's tied up in the bamboo, and he's like the rest of the movie. He's just kind of like watching shit.
Man, look at that. Look at those triceps hanging out. Dang, man.
Those
Getting
hogs.
big.
It's me,
Whoa.
Hua Mulan.
Juan
Just
Mulan.
need the wig.
Like, so huge.
You're like Ken.
Is that you? It's gotta be. I've seen those.
It's got to be because Ken's missing and he's
Right.
here.
Ken went to use the bathroom for 3 minutes.
Back comes the biggest, baddest
Who-
chick you've ever seen in your life.
Who is this absolute
It's like Mrs.
unit
Doubtfire.
of a woman? Yeah, right. Like like with a like a shin length skirt on and like some
Right.
old blouse.
It's like it's good. Like the way the Matt movie is so funny. The way he gets caught is like he's like peeing with the door slightly cracked, standing up. You know, like of all the ways to get busted, like undercover.
Oh my
like,
God.
I need to rewatch that. But the whole emperor
Good.
scene was like he's unlimited power, but he gets caught in like the most insane way possible.
A DNA twist of some
Really
ropes.
enjoy the fact that, like you said, Ken, like during the whole battle with Mulan and the bad guy, he's just like watching.
He is. He's just
He's like-
he's not like strung up. He's kind of just against
I really got the feel from him that he's like, I could break out of here if I want to, but like I kind of want to see what
absolutely
Well,
could
happens.
have
that's the
just
thing.
slid
It's
a
like-
hand out.
it's rope.
I could just cheat.
You're telling me chi doesn't do anything for
Yeah, you
rope?
can't.
it works
like,
on cloth. He'll
you
just
can't-
awaken those ropes.
You can't chi untie that or
He's
like
running low on breaths.
Oh my God. So Mulan shows up. I'm trying. Where the hell am I?
where are we at this point? Yeah.
Okay. Mulan follows Witch Lady to the construction zone. So she
Yes.
once again runs on rooftops and shit like that because that's like her favorite thing.
She
to do.
runs as fast as the witch lady can fly as a
Yeah, can
hawk.
you imagine seeing a hawk and then chasing it down
like
the
literally
street? Like,
scene by scene it shows hawk and then it shows Mulan like watching the hawk.
On rooftops in like
and like through shit, just through a
Imperial
big dirt
China?
field and
everything.
shit.
Yeah, I know.
Everything. Like I have major problems with every like message and premise or whatever of the
Okay.
Everything
movie. But then scene for scene, it's also trash.
It is.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's
bad
both.
all the way down.
Like
Except for maybe it looks nice sometimes.
Yeah. Right.
Sometimes it looks nice. That's the
Right.
best I can give it.
So Witch Lady led them to Bobby Khan, and he is pissed that she brought Mulan there. So this part makes no sense. So he shoots an arrow at Mulan, and the Witch Lady turns into a bird, and she jumps in front and she takes the arrow. You met Mulan like an hour ago. And you're
Right.
already, and
We-
not to mention, if you are like the most powerful chi witch lady who can turn to birds and this and that,
Like zap the arrow
like
or some shit.
yeah, like
You
do
know?
a fucking cloth thing that like hits it out of the air.
Okay,
or
here we go.
something.
Well, like I said, Ken, you were out of the room for a second. The 15-minute story arc
Oh,
of
this is picture
Mulan
8.
and the Witch
Yes.
has just concluded.
Yeah,
We had
Yes.
a scene where they meet, and she tells her that they're attacking the Capitol. We have a
Right.
scene at the Capitol where she's like, "You can still join me. I'm the." She's like dressed as
Yep,
the Emperor.
yep.
It's like really goofy, and then
Well,
she's like, "Okay,"
and
and she flies off as a hawk.
that's
and Mulan
also when
follows her.
she's pissed because she's like, how come everyone was letting you lead the crew, and she's like pissed that they let like a different woman lead.
Yeah, because she's in with
and
Bobby Khan.
Again, what's the message here? Like, well, superpower women gotta stick together sometimes,
I don't.
or
I don't
I don't
And then
know.
scene number 3, Witch takes an arrow for her. That's
Yeah.
the
That's it.
entire story arc of Mulan and the Witch.
Yeah,
The Witch and the Witch.
and so
Yeah.
and
I
they have
don't-
this like
I
picture
don't
which
get it.
I don't
What?
know, the
Like,
fallen
what?
phoenix
Well,
or
and
whatever.
and the whole witch trying to convince her to like do the right thing is such a cop out on what the original story does better, which is like, well, Mulan's a good person from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
She's smart, capable. She wants to do what's right. She's trying to protect her family, even if that means doing wrong for them in the short term. Like, instead, you get this witch who, like,
I don't.
we're outcasts. And
It's
Yeah.
so weird in like
I
like
don't,
a
like-
15-minute time period, the Witch is both the Emperor and Darth Vader. Like it's just
Yeah.
like she's
Yeah,
both
she's
of those
all-
characters.
She
she's the main
is.
villain and the hero, and then her being the main villain makes the fact that Bobby Khan is like, well, who the hell is Bobby Khan? Like, he's gonna get shot with an arrow at some point.
Oh my
there's
god.
I never even
thousands
got
of-
close to being Emperor. She was at least there.
Yeah, she was hanging out in
Right.
the house
Like
for
she
a
was
few
the
hours.
Emperor.
I don't
So-
get it. I don't.
Once she dies, Mulan realizes it's her versus Bobby Khan, and the Emperor's tied up.
comically just
they
good
do
fight.
the thing of like
Yeah, woo.
they
Front row seat.
jump around on like the construction and shit. They're
But-
balancing on crap. Then at one point her sword falls into the lava, like Terminator
Yeah.
style,
Again-
down into the lava.
Which is like, what was the point of the lava if
To melt the sword.
I don't know.
exactly the lava is only there for her to lose the family sword.
So
That's
yeah,
it.
right. Which she's like more worried about that than like you're about to die too, which is stupid. That's
And
when the emperor gives her a pep talk from his like post.
Right.
That's when he's like, "Whoa, you got this. Use your cheat." Like all that
And
crap.
Everything about the combat, it feels like a cheap version of better movies, right?
Yeah.
Bunch of jump cuts. It's Crouching Tiger, but way worse. It's doing this weird balance beam thing, but the CGI is way
First of all,
bad. You can
What is
tell
that beam hanging off of? Like a crane?
Right,
Like,
a
this is
thousand-
Let me be
1,000-foot
clear.
crane.
If in the entire temple there are no other beams.
not one beam is
Right.
being used
There's
in this
all
goddamn
bamboo.
bamboo
This one.
temple.
Actually, that's a good point. The whole temple is bamboo.
and
where
someone
they're
was like, "But
fighting.
we're gonna
Except
need
this
a
one
20-foot beam in here that
I
weighs."
say that, but then it looks like there's some bigger beams back here.
Yeah, but
So
they're
look at
they're
one
in
here.
this
Yeah, but don't,
section
like-
where it's purely bamboo.
And
There's
what would
no
be holding that
actual
up? Look how
structure.
high up they are.
It's like in a Spider-Man video game when you, except
just-
the new one,
just-
but the
You
old
just
one,
shoot
you
to
just shoot to
nothing?
nothing.
It's a helicopter.
So they're fighting on this beam, which is dumb. And
It's
then
so boring.
she cuts it off, hangs onto the rope. He falls down, and the way he plays dead for about 2 seconds, and then the way he fell, his hands were like on a bow and arrow,
bow.
which was weird. So he then like grips it, shoots the bow, and the emperor catches it because Mulan untied him like just
Of
in
course.
time. So he catches it. Then he throws the bow in the air. Mulan does her kick that she's known for.
Oh
and
man,
then she
this
kicks
sucks.
the arrow into Bobby
Kicks an
Khan.
arrow. Kicks an arrow.
I don't
into
know
his
when
chest.
the Phoenix came. At some point, the Phoenix
The-
came just to show
the-
off that
the
cool
emperor
picture.
gives her a pep talk,
Is that one?
and he used the family Phoenix, and the Phoenix
He's a family.
does not exist after this scene. It flies
No.
up behind her,
And then it's like,
and then it's
bye.
gone. There's
It just was there to
no-
like look cool, like take a picture quick, and then. So that's how Bobby
Should've been
Khan
Eddie Murphy.
dies. So
Should have been Eddie Murphy, like
it should have
cussing,
been.
Eddie
Right?
Murphy back
like
behind her.
R-rated, like R-rated Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, so Bobby's dead. She goes back to the city. The Emperor's like, "Yo, you're pretty cool. Do you want to be an officer?" She says, "No, dog. I gotta
Nah,
go
dog.
home." She says bye to her boyfriend. She heads back to the apartment complex. Everyone there's happy to see Mulan. And like okay, so we know how long it took her to get to the camp and stuff. I'm guessing it's even farther wherever the fuck the
I would
main
assume
city
so.
was.
Yeah.
So we know how
We
far
really have no idea, but she did go through multiple
I mean-
topographies.
So she gets back home, and within 5 minutes of her being home, the commander and a bunch of other
they-
officers come.
I
As
assume
if-
they walked her home. They were just waiting
But,
outside to be
like,
polite.
Yeah,
Like,
they had
for
to be
5
like
minutes.
50 feet behind her, otherwise the entire
Well,
trip.
what's the commander? What's his saying? I'm with the force and the force is with me.
Well, it is when he's in other movies. That is what it is. But he essentially gives her a sword since hers got lost in the Terminator lava.
It's funny.
And-
It's on the one side. It still says what
don't know.
honor,
Loyal, brave, and
Loyal-
true.
loyal,
Yeah.
brave, and true. And on the back it says bad bitch.
Bitch is gonna be.
Shoddy, a little
does it-
baddie.
I don't know.
It's like family
It
or
is
something like
something like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's pretty much it. The
But
end.
The end.
Even the insignia, this whole like family payoff thing.
I don't even like. Since
Nobody
when?
that love of family was never presented to us, right?
No,
we never
first of all,
saw
her mom
that.
hated her. I'm pretty sure it was an evil
her
stepmom.
sister just sort of like went along with it. The dad was
Yeah.
fine, but
it
like-
was very strange.
This movie sucks.
Yeah.
I hate this movie. I really dislike it. And I remember we watched it when it came out because I thought it was going to be good. I like Mulan, the animated one.
Yeah, it's great.
And we got to the end of it, and the kids were like, whatever.
It wasn't even. I remember 20 minutes in, Kelvin and Elsa were like, can we not?
Right. My
And they
parents were
left.
here, remember? And they were like,
Oh,
it's
man.
okay. And I was like, that was
Yeah,
That
trash.
sucked.
yeah.
That was garbage.
It was so, but watching it
don't-
again, it was even worse. And like, I
Really?
remembered.
It's very upsetting.
Somebody
It's not
asked
good.
in the. I don't have anything other to say than it sucked. I don't know how this exists.
It's
I don't
really
know
bad.
who wrote this. Like,
Yeah.
it blows my mind that this script
And like,
made
Mulan
it
is
through.
so funny.
This is one of the most off-putting movies I've ever seen. And I say that as in like you said, it looks nice.
Yeah.
It has a coherent story. Right? Like, there are movies
Other
that
than
are
the whole
like
chi thing that, like, doesn't make
objectively
sense.
worse.
Yes,
Like that they're
yes.
just poorly made.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this movie is off-putting. I hate this movie. I hate what it's trying to say. Every
Yeah.
scene is bad.
Yeah.
Every potential that it builds, it doesn't deliver on,
Yeah,
and it just sucks.
it
It
delivers
sucks
on
in
a.
the same way like The Rise of Skywalker sucks, where you just like
Yes.
throw something good away. You just
Yep.
trash
Just
like something
fuck
that
it.
could have been.
Just. Honest,
Yeah,
like
you're right.
it's not paying off. This movie, if you never saw Mulan, this movie doesn't pay off on things it establishes within the movie.
Yeah,
It
no.
pays off on stuff that doesn't exist in this movie,
Ugh.
right? There's fan
Hate
service here that is meaningless.
Yeah.
Meaningless fan service. I don't know. Somebody,
is
I
really bad.
did want to say, somebody asked in the chat up here, out of like Disney live action remakes,
Ooh.
what's good? Because I don't think they're all
Um,
horrible. I'm okay with Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
but
Beauty
I-
and the Beast is okay.
I
Cinderella's
strongly,
fine.
I never saw it, and I heard it was
But
good.
It's good, but Cinderella is such a simple story
It's
too
so
that like
exactly
it just honestly follows it exactly the same.
okay. It's just beat for beat.
Like it is
All right.
it's just cool to be like, oh, that's what they would look like in real life, and that's about
I think
it.
This is the
one
only one I've ever seen.
really.
You saw
okay.
Aladdin.
Oh, I did see Aladdin. That one stinks.
But
Aladdin
it's
was
It's
not
not
as bad
bad
as
like
this.
this
okay.
is. It's
No,
not
it's
bad
not
like
bad
this
like
is.
this
It's just not as
because-
funny as Robin Williams being the
No,
genie.
Which
but
is
Will Smith was
you were
pretty good
never-
as a genie.
he
Though.
did his best. Yeah, he did okay.
I mean, as good as you could to follow up Robin Williams.
But
I
yeah,
never
I
saw
haven't
Lion
seen.
King.
I never saw.
I haven't seen Lion King. They're talking about Jungle Book. I haven't seen that. I've never seen Cinderella. I've never seen Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty
You
and the
never
Beast
saw
was
Beauty
okay.
and the Beast? That one was okay.
It's okay.
I was a little disappointed by the Beast because
Me
he's supposed to be
too.
like big, and instead it
He's
was
not
like
scary.
It's like when Ken dresses up for cats. Like he's
yeah,
not. He's
it's just a
it's like-
dude with like
it's
a
a
lot of
guy with-
makeup on.
yeah.
And I will argue this
He's
to my
supposed to be
grave.
like a huge beast.
They
and
turned his
I don't know.
horns the wrong way. In the animation, his horns go out in front
do
of
they
him.
go back?
No, they go
in
out in
the-
front. In the movie, it's like slicked back hair. You
Oh,
almost don't even
yeah.
see the horns. And he's like
Yeah.
super calm and yeah, anyway.
I
I'm
just
trying to
didn't
think.
like the
Does
Beast.
he ever
really.
do the like make her like join?
No!
In dinner?
No,
he
he's-
does, but it's
I
not-
mean, he does, but
Is he,
it's
like,
not.
Is he like scary?
He's
He
not
never-
quite as like.
You know, he never
I don't
like
know.
snort. You're never worried that Belle is gonna get eaten alive.
Think
right?
about when he like
Like-
fights off the wolves in the animated
Right.
one. Dude, he's
That's
like
intense.
he's like going nuts.
He is like a
Right.
grizzly bear compared to, you know what I mean, like
Right.
size wise and stuff too.
And,
And
it,
this
like,
one
he's
is once
bleeding
again
and
like
stuff
if
in the
we did it.
animation.
It's like if
and-
I dressed you up and I was like, now you and Potato are gonna
Right.
fight. Like it's, you know, like it's size.
It's like a
that
whole
way.
That would be
video.
more like the animated movie.
No,
If I got to fight Potato,
get going. But like I don't know, it's just it doesn't have as much magic there as I was hoping
Yeah,
for Beauty and the
I
Beast.
gotcha.
I liked.
Well-
Are we done? Sorry.
All I was gonna say is just don't ever watch this movie.
No, don't waste
But-
your time.
Just don't waste your time.
But hold on, but Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin both had songs, either the same
Yes.
songs or more. How come Mulan has some of the best songs?
That's what I was
And-
saying
and they
earlier.
were
I
like-
think
They
I
didn't want
think it
anything to do with it,
could've-
really. It would have
I
helped.
wonder if you put him in there, it might have just pushed this over like the C+ rating.
Well,
Right?
also like if Mulan smiled, that would help.
But then again, the movie doesn't pace the way that the animated one does, right? So that there's not a training montage where you can put in "I'll make a man out of you," or she never in the beginning.
Is smart.
She's not smart enough to like sing "When will my reflection show who I really am inside." She never has
Yeah.
that moment on screen, so I don't know
Yeah.
how you would put
I
those
know.
songs
The chi
in.
thing really ruined it.
It's the worst. Single-handedly
Yeah.
ruins the movie.
It takes
Even
away
if you
everything.
kept the witch as like sort of a
Yeah, you could
us
have everything
women
still.
need
We
that.
just don't need
That's how all
chi.
women sound, right?
Us
women
hey,
need
you, I mean, you,
Mulan. We gotta get Bobby Khan.
Bobby Khan.
Bobby Khan.
I don't know. I don't know. It sucks.
Nerium there
It
has a really
sucks.
good point. It sounds like they cut out a lot, and somehow it's 30 minutes longer in runtime.
Yeah,
than
it
the
is
original.
like
That's
yeah.
absolutely true.
That is
It
very
tells
true.
less with more time.
All right, so the rest of the stream is just going to be us streaming the original movie. I'm going to go
You're
find a
gonna just
bootleg
turn it
copy on
on.
YouTube.
Please.
I just
I'm
want
logging to Disney
the
Plus on the browser
I'll make
here,
a
and
man
we're just
out
going
of
to
you
share it into
is
Twitch.
one of the best songs ever.
Somehow I'll make a man.
Man.
And even, not to get ultra nitpicky, but even in the animation where her quasi love interest is also the commander, which is
Yeah.
not the case here, right? That creates a dynamic where, boy, he's really torn. Where in this one, the commander, yes. Are we going to get, well, it's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
We got 7 seconds
man?
we're allowed to do.
I think it's 15, actually. Well, actually, for purposes of, you can
God, it's so
comment
good.
on it. To defeat the Huns.
And it's like funny, right? They're like so bad, and Mulan has Eddie
Right.
Murphy, who's like always like trying to help her, but he's really effing shit up more. And
I think
like
this movie's fine without Eddie Murphy. The problem is, you put a whole bunch of magical shit in it anyway, so why not keep him in?
what? Yeah, right. They act like they're like, well, we can't have a dragon talking to her.
That's
but
absurd.
I don't.
You could.
You could. There's
It could
flipping
use
the
some
whole
levity.
thing
It could use a little.
Yeah.
It could use anything
Yeah.
to lighten the mood. Why is it so serious?
Mulan is pissed from the start to the end.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the whole time
Very-
she's angry.
It's very somber and it's very serious.
And her being like, I have to
Other
get
than
back
the
to my
one
family.
scene where they're talking about what their ideal woman would be like.
But that's like 2 seconds.
I know.
Yeah. That's the
It's
only, and I'm
not-
not saying it needs to be jokey all the time, but that's the only joke in the movie.
But like something.
Which
I
makes-
don't know.
But that makes that joke feel out of place.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. It's,
Anyway.
I don't know. So,
Cruella
it's
was
a bad
fun.
movie.
I liked
Oh,
Cruella.
I never saw
It
that
was
I didn't
one.
okay.
see that.
It was okay.
Okay.
And it's not a true remake. So
yeah,
they can
it's more
do
of like a origin
whatever
story,
they
isn't it?
Yeah, which is like
Kind of.
you sort of like recoil at the idea of a origin story for like a Disney bad
Yeah.
villain, but it told a story. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a
Better-
prequel.
That's just a board game movie tie-in because they wanted to advertise Villainous, the board game.
Yeah, that's what it was. A $200 million board game tie-in.
They were like, this board game needs to really go to the top.
And rather than spend $200 million on advertising, we're going to create an entirely
An entire
unique-
movie.
It's just, I'm
Oh,
trying
All right,
man.
that's it. I
This movie
just
bums me
really
out.
dislike this.
Yeah.
I didn't even want
Yeah.
to talk about it. I hate
to
it
go
so
watch the
much.
original, though. The original's so good.
That's what I need
Yeah,
to
right.
do.
But, okay. Everyone have a good night. Maybe we
Let's
can just do
get
this.
Big-
Oh, man.
God, I like that
so
one.
good.
Okay.
They
All right.
send me daughters
When I asked
for sons.
You're the saddest
Man,
bunch I've
that
ever seen.
song tells a better story.
Yeah,
than
then the
this
entire
whole
Turn back,
movie.
go home, you're through.
right, you like
Mr.
answer her shit. It's
Make a
so
man
much better.
out
Ah.
of you.
If you told me that this movie was adapted from just that animated short, I would tell you, go to hell. That 2.5 minute animated short
It's
is
better.
a masterpiece compared
Yeah.
to this. Like,
So good.
oh, stupid
You're,
movie.
like slowly doing music. You're trying so hard to make this music get louder. He's like,
All right, guys, you know what that
No,
sounds
that was
means.
good. That was good.
that was good.
We're finally done talking about Mulan. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with the Day Night
Next-
Dice
Wait.
podcast.
The next one will be the first Thursday in October. Whenever that is. You guys figure it out, not me.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the new thing for anybody who doesn't listen to the podcast, maybe only watches the T-list reviews. We have put the podcast on hiatus for some time, undetermined, and we're going to do D-list on the first Thursday of every month. I don't know what we're talking about next. Something hopefully better than this movie.
I think it'll be a Halloween-ish movie.
Oh, perfect. Excellent.
It's not like
Excellent.
a killer one, but I think it's a
Can we
it's
get
a
little
Nick
spooky?
Cage. It's a little spooky Nick Cage in Renaissance
Nick
times, I think.
Cage.
Did I say
What?
that?
What?
Yeah, you're right.
And I think he's
It's called like the Witch's
I'm right. I was
Burrow
going
or
to try to
something like
find
that.
it.
What?
I don't remember what's called. Season of the Witch. See,
Oh, I
we're
wanted to see this.
spooky.
Okay. No, awesome.
I
I'm
was like,
excited.
am I saying this right? Because I couldn't
I'm
remember any
excited.
of it. Yeah. So that is for October.
All
You guys
right.
Never-
We'll see you guys.
I
We'll see
can
you
talk
guys
all
later.
night. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so good.
Oh my gosh. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.